Hello, welcome to Dundro's podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today, for our 4th of July special, we're reviewing another Captain America book. This time we're reviewing Captain America and Bucky, the life story of Bucky Barnes, which I think this came out in 2005. It doesn't really say anywhere on the book. And this graphic novel collects issues 620 through 624 of Captain America and Bucky, written by Ed Brubaker and Marc Andreyko, illustrated by Chris Sammee. This is rated teen plus, and it goes for 15 US or 17 Canadian. Right, and this graphic novel is basically a retelling of Bucky's life story, right? Where he pretty much, oh, maybe it says right here. How did I miss that? Oh my god. It says 2011-12. First printing 2011? That doesn't mean the series came out in 2011. Okay, maybe it did come out in 2011. My bad. Yeah. So yeah, it goes over his childhood in the beginning of the book, where he was raised by a single father. His mother died, and he had he had a dad in the army. He was basically an army brat, and he had like a little sister that him and his dad would take care of. But what ended up happening was here you see a Snow White reference. He was a troublemaker, and he was a troublemaker, always getting into fights, and he promised his dad, "Oh, I won't do any more fights." Right? Breaks his promise, and immediately his dad goes, who's a pilot, by the way, goes on a maneuvering mission, and then you find out he's dead too. So his dad, the last conversation he had with his dad was with his dad being like super disappointed. So yeah, that's rough. So yeah, what ends up happening is like he gets raised by one of his dad's army buddies. He stays on the army base while his sister goes to some private boarding school, right? And eventually he gets even though he's a troublemaker, right? He gets a reputation to for being like a great hand-to-hand fighter, right? So what happens is he gets recruited to get special training for an assignment. Guess what assignment that is? To be the sidekick of Captain America, right? Who he's a fan of, right? Yeah, so like eventually, yeah, he gets to meet Captain America. It's not like in the movies where they were friends. They met through the army, right? Which even in the Ultimates version, Bucky and Cap were war friends, war buddies. Yeah. So that's the first issue. The second issue is them fighting. Is not in World War II, but them fighting domestic terrorists, German war sympathizers, like German immigrants, right? And then the third issue, they finally get to World War II, and they get to fight alongside Namor, Human Torch, and Toro, which is Human Torch's sidekick. And people don't know, the first Human Torch back in the Golden Age was like a robot, apparently. Yeah. So this issue was pretty cool. So at first, Bucky was feeling kind of like dead weight amongst the invaders, that was the name of the superhero team, because he doesn't have superpowers, right? and he almost got killed fighting like Atlanteans, right? But gets up saved by Namor. So yeah, what ends up happening is that the Germans ambushed the invaders and kidnapped them, and using them to create like an Ubermensch, which is like a Superman that has all their powers, right? And Bucky goes on a one-man mission to rescue them, which he does, and he earns the respect of Namor and the other invaders, right? The second to last issue has Bucky and Toro go on a mission to rescue a German spy that was working for the Allies, and they end up saving him from an internment death camp, right? Which was super dark issue, super dark. And the last issue goes over the last issue, which at the end of the fourth issue, they deal with their final mission and how Bucky lost his arm, right? And how he was basically saved and turned into an assassin by the Soviet Union called Winter Soldier, right? And he has like this relationship with Black Widow, right? And they go over, like, they kind of summarize the Winter Soldier arc from Ed Brubaker's run, which I've never read that book. At some point I will, right? And the book ends in the modern day with Bucky meeting with his old sister, right, and with Black Widow, and it turns out his sister has Alzheimer's, but it's a very sweet issue, right? So yeah, what did I think about this book? I thought it was going, usually for these kind of books where they deal with origin stories, right? They're usually, kind of depressing, not really fun books. This does a good job of balancing fun action and serious storytelling and character development, right? The art was cool. They were trying to go for like a golden age kind of Jack Kirby-esque art style, which it didn't really do. Again, it didn't really resemble that much like Jack Kirby. They should have got like someone like Mike Allred or Darwin Cook is a great one. But Chris Sammee did a good job. There was problems where the size of objects would be like super weird. Like there's one point where Bucky goes to retrieve Cap's shield that's embedded into like a wall beam, not wall beam, like a wooden post, right? Support beam, and it's like super small. It's like the size of like a large, not a large dinner plate, but it wasn't exactly to scale with Cap's shield, right? And there was other things like that, but otherwise I enjoyed the book, and it was a good read, and I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. If you're a fan of Bucky, like the Winter Soldier, and Captain America doesn't really have a lot of screen time. Isn't really in the book that much, but he's in a decent part, like a decent amount of it. And it was, in my opinion, this was a good read, right? It is only like a 5-issue graphic novel, so I wouldn't pay more than honestly more than $15. I paid, in my opinion, charging more than $15 for a 5-issue graphic novel that's not a hardcover is a bit much, in my opinion. They could have put in bonus material, here's a bonus issue from from the golden age or some bullshit. They used to do that back in the day, man. It's like if graphic novels were too short, they would include like a random issue from the backlog or whatever, from the archive or whatever. Would have been nice if they done that, but yeah. If you can get this for $15 or less, I would say check it out. But I wouldn't pay I wouldn't pay $20 for something like this, right? Yeah, that's it for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I am planning. I kind of want to review more Captain America stuff in the future, especially Ultimates, because I've been watching Soldier Boy. Sorry, The Boys, and there's like a cool character called Soldier Boy, who everybody says he's like basically Ultimate's Captain America, and like Ultimate's Captain America was pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to pick up some Ultimate's Captain America and like more Brubaker stuff in the future. So that's it for this review, guys. Later today we're gonna have a HeroClix game where we're gonna have not necessarily this team. I'm gonna replace. I'm going to add one of the Union Jacks from the Earth-X set to make this like a 300-point team with the soldier keyword, and we're going to have not this Captain America. We're going to have this team fight either Hydra, an Iron Man team, or Brutes, which is like Hulk. Like Hulk and big like super strong villains. So if you haven't, by the time this review comes out, the poll will be closed. But yeah, look forward to that. Just I'm doing this a few days before 4th of July, so I don't know who won yet, but we'll find out soon. I'll know by the time this gets uploaded. So yeah, I hope you guys like this review. Yeah, and that's it for this